Hey folks, Lester here. It is Thursday and I'm coming to you live from the Live Shack. It's a beautiful day outside. It's beautiful, but I know we had some issues with the lighting yesterday, and so I did not want to have to battle lighting issues again today. So I'm hoping this is going to be a little bit easier. I tried to open the doors to the shop and then the wind starts blowing, so now we're going to have noise issues. So, in all honesty, the little camper here is just kind of perfect for all of this. I'm able to plug my computer in. If you hear noises around me, it's because the I left the door open and all of a sudden the cats have come in to explore. And so there are cats all over the place. I don't know. This is their first time to come inside here. And this is like the funnest day of their life. They're climbing on the window sills. They're right here's one right here beside me. Come here. This is the one that LE, he named it the Bruiser. It's a little male. And Jamie likes to call him Patches. But yeah, they're all over the place. So y'all just try not to pay any attention to them. I'm also wearing a shirt that I was gifted. The Bull shirt looks really good. Thank you very much. It's a great gift, and I appreciate that. I don't always, guys, you know that I've kind of stopped doing the gift and goodie videos because we feel like, hey, Facebook is finally here. All right, Facebook, welcome. I stopped doing the longer gift and goodie videos a while back because I kind of felt like I never felt comfortable with it. Don't think that because we don't make a video showcasing or highlighting the gift that you sent, that we don't appreciate it. What I'm doing is all of the things that have been sent to Maggie or for Maggie, especially like stones and things. I'm putting all of those into a special spot. And whenever I get out there to redo the memorial garden, I'm going to make a special spot for all of the Maggie stuff. And I thought I would just wait and showcase all of those things then. So, all of the letters and cards, guys, you know, you just can't read all of that stuff online. I do, I read everything, and I can't help but read everything. And so, most things are very positive and uplifting. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read you all something before this live is over that just touched me. It touched me when I read it yesterday, and I read it to Jamie, and it touched her, and I believe it might touch you. So, first things first, though, we'll talk a little bit about Fiona. I know you're all wondering how she's doing, and I appreciate all the questions that are, coming up about Fiona. Fiona is doing great. It was really cute. I did not load it to show you, but on the Longhorn Lesters on Facebook this morning, I put the video of Fiona's favorite place to sleep at the house. This is awesome. Is in Maggie's side of the bed. So you know that in our bedroom, we have our bed in the center of our bedroom. We have a window on each side of the bed. And so Jamie has her side, I have my side. And Jamie has bought these little, I don't know what you call them. They're not throw rugs, but they're like these little rugs that you lay down on each side of the bed so you can, get in and out of bed with clean feet. And Maggie always slept on my side of the bed, right there beside me. Um, and we've talked about that before about Maggie. And wouldn't you know it, that if all of a sudden for the past 2 nights, Fiona has gotten out of her bed, the one that we put into the living room so we can kind of keep an eye on her, and twice now she's gone to sleep right beside me on the side of the bed where Maggie always slept. Now, I know what you're probably saying. You're probably saying, oh, Lester, she just can smell Maggie and she knows that it's safe and she maybe feels more comfortable or whatever else. But to me, I like to think that, you know, I like to think there's something deeper than that. I like to think that, not that Fiona's going to replace Maggie, guys. No one's ever going to replace Maggie. I think that folks who've had a pet like a Maggie, you've had your own Maggies, They're irreplaceable. Yesterday, Miss Pat was telling me about her Maggie. Wasn't actually named Maggie. I believe she said his name was, I think that she said Bear, but I'm not real sure. I don't remember. But she said that of all of the dogs that she and David have had their entire lives, they've only had one Maggie. And so what I said was fairly accurate with the fact that many of us only get one Maggie if we're lucky in a lifetime. And I've had my Maggie, and I've had a lot of dogs, but I've only had one. But Miss Pat talked about her dog and how amazing it was, how smart, how intuitive. Just it knew what you were thinking, what you needed to do. It could tell when you were having a bad day, and it was cute because it began to understand what when her and David were talking about things, the dog could understand what they were saying and would sometimes beat them to the door. And so she said that they began to kind of spell out words. Hey, let's go Ridebike. And that dog would just run to the door like, ready to go. And so they finally had to do like secretive because that dog of hers, their Maggie, just knew things. And so I read that many of you, I've gotten some really neat cards and letters, and I appreciate those where you talk about your Maggie. And so Maggie will never be replaced, but I'll tell you what, it was sweet seeing Fiona lying there on Maggie's rug. And I think Maggie would like that. I think Maggie would be happy to know that there's someone else laying there close to Dad at night who's going to wake me up when I stop breathing from my sleep apnea. And but that's been just wonderful. As far as other news around I'm a Survivor, I'm going to show you a video right now of what I think is the cutest thing that has happened this week. Oh, I know. I'm always telling you about horrible things that happened, how horrible it was with this or with that or whatever. But no, this is the cutest thing that I've recorded all week. Let me play that video for you guys now. I'm going, look, there's a cat in the background climbing up. Hey, I'm trying to make a video here. They don't get it. They just do not get what trying to make a video means. They're not as intuitive where they can understand that I'm trying to make a video here. This particular video I'm about to show you came after I opened some gifts, some packages, and there were some Fig Newtons. You know, the candy Fig Newtons, the little cookies. And it actually says that the gift is for, it named all of the pigs and Ringo. No, it did. It said, to who you're sending it to. It said Trudy, Timmy, Peggy, Newton, and Ringo. So of course I opened the Fig Newtons. I opened the gift, and there were some Fig Newton candies, and then there were also some plums. And so I'm like, okay, I don't even know if they eat plums or not, but I'll take them out. And so this is that particular video. Enjoy with me. Go. So I don't know exactly who all will eat a plum. I've cut some, and then others I've left whole. Tree took a whole plum. Ringo, we got some cookies for you. We have some Fig Newton cookies. You give me a second to open them. Watch this thumb. Give me a second to open them, Ringo. Ringo, stop doing that with your tongue. Here. Okay, you like those? Oh, that's a Fig Newton cookie. Oh boy. Ringo, some of your friends want to share, Ringo. Can we share with any of the other friends? Ringo, you have other friends who would like to share with you. Are you going to be sweet and share? Trudy here. Come here, Timmy. Oh, Timmy has a bite of plum. Come on, piggies. Ringo, we need to share with other piggies. Let's share with all of our friends. Ringo, share with people. Trudy, not the paper. Not the paper. The Trudy. Thank you, Ringo. Trudy, learn to eat the food, not the paper. We do not eat paper products, Trudy. Come on, Tiny Tim. All right, Piggy Pig, here. Ringo, there's cookies for everybody. Uh-oh, I need that plastic. Cookies for everybody. plums for everyone. So everybody's looking good here. They're all sharing. We're all sharing. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to open the other package. Give me a couple of seconds. So that's where I stopped that particular video. But what I thought was really, really cute was Ringo here at the beginning, and that stupid tongue. He starts raising up on me, and he's like, watch this silly boy. Have some fig Newton cookies. Give me a second to open them. Give me a second to open them, Ringo. Ringo. Oh, I love him. He's just the best. You know, Ringo will not be around forever. And I think that all of us, I would imagine that all of us have had pets or even people in our lives who you've seen slowly begin to, let's just say decline, just decline. And Ringo, he has his days. He does have his really fun days, his good days. He can still get a good laugh out of you. And many of you guys saw in that particular scene when I dropped the paper, the plastic, and the little carton that the Fig Newtons were in. Trudy ran by to eat the paper, and Ringo thought, he just like, we don't eat paper. And he knocked her out of the way. And that's the Ringo of old. We don't see that Ringo much anymore because, you know, he's getting older and he is in the decline. So I try to enjoy and, you know, every moment that I can with him because I mean, you know, I'm not trying to scare everybody and say his days are numbered, but guys, as all of us, our days are numbered. And I'm able to see, you know, Ringo, and there's days that he goes through, days and even weeks of not feeling 100%. And so you guys know that Ringo is on a medication to kind of help his arthritis and some of the joints issues that he has. But I love Ringo. Anyway, so thank you so much for the gifts. Those were amazing. The animals, you saw they really enjoyed them. All of the pigs got some. I did cut the video at that point, and I had to go find Tiny Tim. But Tiny Tim did get his cookies also, and I have that on the actual longer video. But I wanted to share that with you. So Fiona and the babies, the littles, that was what I wanted to share from I'm a Survivor. And now I'll share something from Longhorn Lester's. You may have already seen snippets of this on different channels, but I don't think you have. I don't think that you have seen much of this. So I did buy some hay. My friend Terry, the guy who lives up the road, the Longhorn Ranch, he had some extra hay. He got his pasture baled, his second cut, and he had some hay, and he was going to, he agreed to sell me some. And all of that hay, I wanted it for this property. We have our barn full at the other property. And so I wanted it for Longhorn Lester's. And so the morning that Terry brought the hay over, Terry helped me. I unloaded the hay and I put it all over in the one side where only goats are at. The goats were up at the house. I closed them into the pasture, so they were not a bother. So that pasture was pretty much free for me to move hay into while I unloaded it off of Terry's trailer. Problem is, later that afternoon, I came back to begin to move that hay from that goat pasture over, and here comes Tex and his family. And this is sort of what happened, a little bit of what happened. Of course, there'll be a full video. Santana Morrow. Let me back it up. Get back in that yard. This poor guy. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Get your butt back in there. Where you going, Plum Grove? Get in there. Get in there. Don't you run down off that road. Santana Morrow. Get your behind back up in that pasture. So what you have to understand is this was actually very dangerous because even though Santana was just being goofy, she had no desire to run away. There was nowhere to run to. But what I love about these animals is that sometimes they Hey, it's like Miss Pat said earlier, they're very intuitive. Her dog was very intuitive. They just know things, they can sense things. And sometimes they'll mess with you. Maybe you've had a dog or a cat, or in this case, a cow that would mess with you. And what happened was, as I'm moving the hay, Santana saw the gate was open. She saw the gate was open. And so she's like, I'm just going to run through it. I'm just going to run out. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I'm just going to run right through that gate. Now, of course, me as Lester, I'm thinking there's a road right there. Even though it's not very heavily traveled, there's a road and cars can come driving by there, school buses, Amazon trucks, whoever. And it terrified me to see Santana out running along the road. And so I'm kind of in panic mode. I knew it was a cute moment. It was a scary moment. And so, yeah, I had to run Santana. Where am I at? Here we go. Let me finish that video.
Sorry, I'm just Longhorn
Longhorn
Lester
Lester
here.
here, just doing what I
Santa,
normally do. Look at her. She made me run.
not run. Santana! Okay, Lester, calm down. Lester, tomorrow,
Look, there's nowhere to
go home.
There's
Go
nowhere
home.
to go.
Go, get on. Oh no.
Now, this whole time, if you notice over here, now Tex is like, hey, there's an open gate. And there you can see Pearl. Pearl's like, hey, there's an open gate. And right behind Pearl is Gracie. And they're all saying, hey, Mama's out. Mom's having fun. Let's go with Mama. Let's just go with Mama.
Oh no. Ah, shit. Fire, okay. That's okay. Get in there.
Sorry,
Get in
guys.
there. I don't care where you go. Follow your daddy. Follow your daddy. Get in there. Just follow your daddy. Stop acting like that.
Wow. So bottom line is they actually traded pastures on their own, which worked out pretty good for me. That allowed me to take all of the hay that I'd moved over and begin to work it up towards the barn. And I'm sorry, there's cats all around my feet. And so it was funny and it was scary when it first happened. And it turned out to be pretty funny. But the Longhorns on their own just traded pastures. And then, of course, yesterday, once I got all the hay moved,
Home.
this is fun. This is the part that I
Everybody,
like. I mean, no,
come on back home. Everybody come back home.
they've had their fun.
Be sweet. Beverly, settle down.
She's always up to no
Oh
good.
no, not goats. Come on, Gracie. There you go. Good girl.
And so now they're all back home safe. Now, I enjoy being able to go to both properties. There's always adventure and something going on. And it's really fun that throughout the course of the day, doing your normal chores, you're able to have your phone to capture special moments that if I get enough of them, I'll just turn them into a long video. But I'm not real sure what's going on in the comments. I'm not wearing my glasses, and I hope you're not arguing. I hope that you're not arguing the way that you were yesterday. Whew. Um, Yesterday I thought was a pretty good live, and it wasn't until I got home last night and I was in the tub and I was reading through all the comments and I realized how much arguing and how much fighting everyone was doing back and forth. And then, of course, some people will screenshot someone who thinks they should be banned and they email and they say, you need to ban this person, Lester. And you guys, I don't know who or what or why or when, but that's why I'm going to get emotional and I don't want to. And I'm not emotional because I'm drinking Pepsi. Yeah, I know. The Tractor Supply had no Dr. Peppers, and we're out here. So I had to just drink a Pepsi. The humanities. Anyway, when I saw all of that arguing and all the fighting, and I'm guessing the same thing is happening over here now, I want to share something with you. And it may be a little difficult for you all to read because I took it and I put it into the PDF file so I could upload it here so you all can read along with me. But when I projected it, it looked like it was going to be way too small. And so I don't think there's any way for me to make it larger here. So what I'm going to do is simply read it from my phone. And even if you can't read it, you can maybe follow along and allow me to read it to you. So I'm going to need my glasses still. I do have them. I'm just not going to put them on to watch you guys fight. All right, here we go. Jamie and Lester, my name is Michelle and I'm from Connecticut. I'm writing to you today in regards to one of your biggest fans, my mom. Her name is Sandra, but everyone calls her Sandy. Let me give you a little backstory. I know it looks long, but please bear with me. Back in 2017, my mother retired from her job after 41 years working for the state of Connecticut. She was living alone and had a lot of free time to finally focus on herself. She decided to start a health journey and lost 80 pounds over the course of 2 years. She was the most active I'd ever seen her in my whole life. She was happy, healthy, and thriving. It was as if her best life was just beginning at the age of 61. In 2019, life was turned upside down as she was unexpectedly diagnosed with something that I'm not able to pronounce, but it's a carcinoma, so it would be obviously a cancer, a very rare and aggressive form of bile duct cancer. There's no cure to date, and her case was deemed inoperable and terminal from the start. That wasn't going to stop her, though. She fought it anyway, and she fought hard. She spent 3 years on multiple different forms of chemotherapy and trial medications, spending countless hours being poked and prodded by doctors and medical instruments. She was so strong throughout the entire journey. I never saw her cry even once or talk about giving up. Some may say that was just her coping mechanism, but I like to believe she did that to protect the fragile state of mind the sisters and I were in, scrambling to figure out how we would navigate life without our only parent. She was scared, but she would never show it. My mother may not have been the most emotional person, but she was certainly the most reliable person I'd ever known. She was the queen of solving life's unforeseen problems for others, always worried about someone else. I was at the age of 25. I was 25 at the time of the diagnosis, living on my own, figuring out the workings of early adulthood. Even in the most unsettling of her life, when she was at the one that needed the support most, she made sure that I was prepared for what was to come. She helped me overcome every obstacle we encountered in between. I believe, here we go, we're still good. Um, It pains me to say that my mother found very little happiness in her life during her cancer battle, though she hid it well. I knew she was anxious, depressed, scared, and unmotivated, among many other things, feelings that I can only imagine would be induced by the concept of death on an accelerated time frame. Between isolating at home and her gruesomely long chemo sessions, she became more acquainted with her social media. Though very limited in content because she wasn't too tech savvy, she would scroll through her Facebook feed looking for cute videos to watch or sometimes to be nosy about what's happening in our town. Someone in her friends list must have shared one of your videos, and thus she discovered I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. I went to her house almost every day after work. I would walk through the door and see her sitting there in her recliner, iPad in hand. Instead of your typical greeting, I would get, "Hey, watch this video," or "Look, they have a new baby." She particularly enjoyed the videos of your ostrich, Carl. So I'm emotional because I've read it. I know what's to come. So bear with me, please. She knew all the names of the animals and would just be excited to share with me the moments that you shared with her. I would sit there and watch these videos with her as long as she wanted me to. By any means, I won't claim to be the same expert on your animals as she was. I'll admit, it's simply because I wasn't always watching the screen. I was instead watching her face brighten up and savoring every. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm I've already thought I had already gone through the emotions of this letter, and now I'm going through it again. Um, it's simply because I wasn't always watching the screen. I was instead watching her face brighten up and savoring the ear to ear smiles, which I realized would become scarce as the cancer progressed. I even asked her if she wanted me to go to her account and follow other animal rescue pages to increase and diversify the content in her newsfeed. She declined. Your videos were enough, and she eagerly anticipated them. We're located in Durham, which is a small rural town in Connecticut. Animal talk is frequent out here, and she would reference I'm a Survivor Sanctuary in any conversation that had to do with farms, animals, and rescues. She actually might have been your best walking advertisement. Um, it's almost over. She was always an avid animal lover. She had two horses growing up, Goldie and Cheeseburger. Sam, she called him Burger, and also a small cow named Queenie. Her high school yearbook said that she dreamed of living on a farm with lots of land and animals. But, as I'm sure you know very well, life is about as agile as a leaf in the wind, swiftly changing direction, leading you down unexpected paths. I think in her final years, she was living out her dreams vicariously through your videos. There's so much more I could say about her love for your rescue, but for the sake of this letter not turning into a novel, I'll just say that your animal sanctuary had brought a sense of joy and hope to my mom in a very dark time. I'm going to stop reading there, but I want to thank her because she included pictures of her mother that she wanted to share with the world. And so I am blessed to be able to share these with you. All right. I don't think you get it. If you have the energy to sit in the comments and argue and fight back and forth, then I totally don't think that you get it. I'm a Survivor Sanctuary has become a home to people who need more than just animal therapy. It becomes a sanctuary for a lot of folks to come together to give us our own peace. And so we highly discourage all of that arguing and fighting and bickering back and forth. I think that you're better than that, and I know that the page is better than that. And so I appreciate this young lady. It was such a very well written and well spoken young lady for taking the time to share her mama's story and for encouraging us to, despite what we may read when you guys start being mean, not everybody, but when the mean people start being mean, it helps us remember that we're here to serve a lot bigger purpose. We are here to serve a lot greater purpose than trying to appease all of the demands popping up and down in the comments, all of the anger, all of the hate, all of the hurt that you feel that you seem to project onto the page. And so I make no apologies for the way we run the page. And so I don't want to get into the rant that I got into yesterday, but I was reading the comments after I discussed the new rescue and the fact that Jake is going to start his own farm and how happy I was for him. And I was just shocked. I was just shocked at how much anger and hate and hostility there were towards me, towards the page, towards each other. And I'll tell you what, if I don't know how you found I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, but I do hope that you able to get out of it what this woman was able to get out of it. And I appreciate that letter very much. Let me say both of those names again. Um, I believe Sandra was mother's name. So the writer's name is Michelle. So Michelle is the writer. She's from Connecticut, and she is writing the letter on behalf of her deceased mom, Sandra. They called Sandy. Thank you very much for that, guys. Anyway, whew, that was a very tough read. That came in our email, and so we're very blessed to be able to have a page and to have a platform to be able to present and share with you all the gift, the blessing that we get to live. Do we make mistakes? Absolutely. We not, no one's perfect. We acknowledge that, but we do the best that we can, and we we're blessed for you, Michelle, and for your mother, Sandy, because those kind of letters do is they encourage us to keep doing what we're doing, and that there are people who still get something out of the videos. I think what touched me the most from that particular letter is the fact that when Michelle said, "Mom, I can find you other channels. There's a lot of rescues out there. I can, if you let me take your phone, I can put you you can get a bunch of different rescues. So you're not stuck to watching I'm a Survivor all the time." And her mom declined. No, I'm completely happy here. And that makes me happy. Kitty, I am trying to make a video. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off here for today. There's not a whole lot more I can say that's going to top that letter right there. Thank you, though, for following along and for being who you are and supporting and loving us despite our many flaws. And we will come. I'll see you back tomorrow. Tomorrow is my official lunch with Longhorn Lester. Ooh, I'm excited about that. And I try to do that right at noon every day. Let me read a couple of comments. I see lots of things that are popping up that might be related and they might not be. This is coming from a Facebook user. How does someone do that? How does someone become a Facebook user? Your channel has been amazing on so many levels. I know what she's talking about. I spent 12 years working in a nursing home. When COVID hit us, I found I would leave my phone with many of my elders to watch your videos. So many of my elders would always delight on any new video I would have to share with them. I've seen the smiles that she's talking about. I know you and all the hard work give purpose to the elders and have started many conversations about life in upstate New York. And it goes on, but I'm not able to see the rest of it. So I appreciate that, Facebook user. Kim says, I do not understand why people have to be rude to others. Please learn just to let things go. After my husband passed away at the age of 57, I cannot take any drama in my life. Trust me, I will provide plenty of drama, but it's scripted drama, okay? Life is so very short, guys. We are all so blessed to have each other. Try to enjoy life, for it can be gone in the blink of an eye. God bless. Absolutely, it can be gone so fast. I mean, I learned that with my sweet Maggie. Phyllis, I watch your videos daily. I was with my mom 24/7 until she passed in 2006. My husband passed this year in September. I'm 69 years old and find my best part of the day is sharing it with all of you. Phyllis, that touches me. The changes as they happen and grow. Love to you all and keep them coming. So I've often said that. Yeah, farm life is very dynamic, and it breaks me to see the memorial garden and to see all of the amazing babies who we've lost over the course of the years. And it's hard, you have to deal with your parasites and your predators, and then sometimes you have accidents happen. And so, but I tell you what, we love these babies, and I love bringing their stories to people like you, Phyllis. And I'm glad that you understand the changes as things do evolve and grow, as you say, because things do happen. So I'm blessed to have you, Phyllis. Thank you. I'm seeing a lot of longer. So Lorraine says, it's not like Moo and the girls were leaving the hill, and it's your decision that no one else is. They don't like it. Good riddance. You don't need to explain what you decide to do. No, I don't need to explain, but I like to explain. I like to talk about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Cassandra says, after COVID, we found you all while searching for farms like ours. So, Cassandra, remember how I told y'all there's like three types of people who watch the channel? Those who used to be like us, farmers like us, and have maybe grown out of it or married out of it, or your lifestyle changes, that you move jobs and so that lifestyle is gone. Or those who have always wanted to have a farm, man, that's what they've always dreamed of. Like Sandy in the letter, in her high school yearbook, her dream was to have a farm and have land and have animals. And so that never was able to happen for her. So people like Sandy watched the page to kind of like think about the life that they would have liked to have lived. And then, like Cassandra over here, now y'all may say Cassandra, but I say Cassandra. I pronounce a lot of words with a Texan slash Tex-Mex type thing. I've had a ton of students over the years, and so whereas you guys may say that's Cassandra Lester, or Cassandra in Spanish. So I'm so sorry. I've had a lot of Spanish students. So Cassandra or Cassandra. After COVID, we found you while searching for farms like ours. We unofficially have rescued animals and connected to you and Jamie a lot. Some of your antics and experiences we've had too. God bless you both and keep up the good work. It's not always easy, but it's needed. And it is a lot of fun. At the end of the day, I think that you would agree, Cassandra, that it is a lot of fun. It's very rewarding. It's very rewarding. Jennifer says, I wake up every day and enjoy watching everyone's videos. I spend most of my day to watch I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, Longhorn Lester's, Jake, Bree, Jamie. Once I finish Morrow Hill, I go to the Arms family. Well, Jennifer, I will say that once you finish I'm a Survivor, Longhorn Lester, Jake, Bree, Jamie, you're forgetting about my son Ellie, and you're forgetting Paul, Sister Kim. The Arms family, I'm sure, can wait. Okay, they can wait. They're not gonna wither up and die if you don't spend a little bit of time with my Paul, which is my dad, my sister, Sister Kim, and Le, the flip flop farmer. Do not tell Daniel I said that. Do not tell Daniel I said that, because he'll tell me. Oh, he'll get on my ass good about that one. I'm kidding, obviously. I also watch the Arms family. That's what I do in the afternoons after I've finished my bath and read my comments. I built my video. I'm all ready for the next day. Then I sit down to watch videos. And on my news feed or on my subscription list, it will play who I follow. And so it's always going to be Daniel. It's going to either be his wife, DJ, I got Jason, I got Brooke, that's Cog Hill Farm. And so I kind of have a list of who I watch as well. And there's always someone interesting to watch. But Jennifer, Sister Kim, Flip Flop Farmer, hanging with Pawpaw. Hmm, I'm just kidding, obviously. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. That means a lot. Oh, here's a long one. Here's a long one. Boy, what's this long one going to say? I understand. This is from Heidi. I understand this totally. I live, so I love watching you. I lost my husband in 2015, and I lost my son 2 years ago. I wished I found you earlier. All the videos make me smile and cry at the same time. I do not have time for people like that. I'm guessing she means the ones that kind of have a lot of drama. People that are rude to you, it's not right. So don't listen. Don't ever, Heidi. I'm going to say this to Heidi and to everyone else. Just because you might read that someone's being rude, that's not your place to go fight with them. You're never going to win that kind of an argument. You're never going to win that kind of an argument. Um, so ultimately, I think it's true what they say that a lot of those people just want to be heard. They're screaming to be heard. They demand to be heard. And so when we fight and argue, yes, I'm heard. Behold, he hears me. She hears me. And so I think we have to be very careful when you just tell people, go away, leave us alone. We don't want you here. I think that might be what you always tell me. Just ignore the haters. Just ignore the haters. And so it's easier. It's easier said than done. Thank you, Heidi. I'll read a couple more. Um, Tanya, Daniel from Arms Family is how I found you. Oh, so okay, okay. So happy to watch you and your family. How did we find Pawpaw and Sister Kim? So they're both on YouTube only. I know you're on Facebook because it shows me there beside your name that you're a Facebook user. And so unfortunately, Pawpaw and Sister Kim only use YouTube. They've never got around to doing Facebook. So if you ever wanted to go find them on YouTube, you can certainly do that. You don't, it's free. You don't have to even be a member of YouTube. But Pawpaw's channel it's called Hanging with Pawpaw, I believe, and I'm certain someone in the comments will tell you exactly. And Sister Kim, that's my sister, her channel is called Catching Up with Kim. Catching Up with Kim, I believe. And they're both on YouTube. But you tell Daniel thank you for sending you my way. Man, there's a lot of neat comments. You're a great promoter of family, but they there's Cog Hills. Oh, Big and Small, and DJ and her babies, and Dr. Farm in Scotland. I enjoy all of your animals and music, Sanity. Haha, Lester, your anxiety song, I enjoy, and your dancing. Okay, so Francisca Garcia, thank you very much for the comment. And so, yes, there are a lot of channels out there like ours, lots of farm channels. And so, what we do is try to make our channel unique. And so, we already know, and I think I said this yesterday, there's no way I could ever compete with Daniel because I'm not that level of expertise. I'm not as well spoken. I'm not as well, I don't think about what I'm saying before I say it. And so same goes for Jason at Cog Hill. These are friends of mine. They are personal friends of mine, and I think that they would call me a friend as well. And so I know that our channels are different, and we don't have the same philosophies or whatnot as far as the rescues versus farm versus this, but that doesn't mean that you can't respect and love someone as a human being. And I love Daniel and his wife DJ, and I love Jason and his wife Brooke. And so I'm sure there's other channels out there that you found and that you follow that give you what you need for your entertainment. But we keep ours unique to who we are. And like I said, it seems to be working for us. We seem to found a recipe for success. and we're not gonna change that at all. I will talk more about that tomorrow. I'm gonna jot some stuff down, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow. What I think has been our recipe for success in social media. All right, so I got one more over here. Where did it go? Man, now they're just flying by. Um, um, I'm reading some very kind things right now. You guys don't have to you don't, I'm not begging for compliments. You know how sometimes people will beg you for a compliment in different kind of ways. I'm not trying to beg you for a compliment. I was actually trying to share that message that I showed you to remind you guys that life is short and life is fragile and that we're not going to change a thing because obviously what we're doing is sharing our light with some who need it. And it appears as though Sandra, from the letter, in her situation with the cancer and with the chemotherapy and the doctors pricking and prodding all over her, she found an escape in the I'm a Survivor videos, and we're blessed for that. So I'll read a couple more. Linda says, I watch all the family's videos, but I hardly ever comment. Okay, that's fine. We like it when you comment because that lets us know your thoughts on whatever we're videoing about. Uh, I just enjoy what you all bring to us. It makes my day happier. Keep up the awesome job bringing us your videos. A day without Morrow Hill doesn't exist for me. Well, Linda, thank you for saying that. I appreciate you. And I've also often said this that I get as much therapy from making videos, sharing it with you guys, and the positive comments help battle the demons inside of me. And so, whereas I suffer and struggle through depression and the anxiety, I'll tell you what, there's nothing more therapeutic than reading something like I read from that, the lady wrote about her mom that makes me say, Devil, get on out of here. You ain't going to mess with me today. I am not taking that bull from you today because I know that I've done something good and positive and someone got a blessing out of it. And that sounds silly to you. I know it sounds silly to you, but it works for me, guys. I found a way to make sense of it all somehow. Where's that at? All right, here we go. You are very well spoken. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm a blubbering fool. You are very well spoken, and it's not really a competition. It is what you like and relate to. Everyone who prefers you to always be yourself and unapologetic. Well, thank you, Lori. So Lori's saying Lori's one of those folks who says, Lester, stop apologizing. Just be who you are, and that's why we like you. Thank you because you do not have to be apologetic about anything in being yourself. And that is what people love and why so many started watching and keep watching. We love you just the way that you are. Lori, thank you for loving and accepting me the way that I am because trust me, I have a lot of flaws and there's a lot of I love all of you guys, also Cog Hill and Arms family. Isn't that great that me and my friends are able to share you guys as far as social media following. We call a family. Jason calls you his Cog Squad, and Arms family. I don't know what they call you. All great families and animals. I follow you all and enjoy everything that you all do. It makes retirement an enjoyment and a blessing from God. God bless you all. Well, thank you, Sheila. That's very kind of you. I said I'm getting off of here, and I'm still scrolling, and I don't know why I'm just still scrolling. Something's wrong with me. I was going to leave. Here we go. Jenny Miller. I respect your judgments. You always make the right ones, or at least most of the time. So I'm about 50-50, Jenny. I'm about 50-50. No matter, it's your place to make all the choices of what is right. for your place. I mean, for both of your places. I don't read what others say. I really don't care what they think. They don't live your life day to day. You have the full picture of your real world. You are the best of all. I watch everyone on Mar Hill. I also watch Cog Hill and Arms Family. Have a blessed life. Well, Jenny, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I guess I will just. I'm going to listen. Let me go ahead and defend. I don't. I know that you're not asking me to defend anything, but if this is going back to what happened yesterday, what started all of the bickering and fighting between you all is whenever I said that I'm going to give my nephew Jake. Well, let me even back up further than that, because I think the arguing started when I began to encourage Jake and Brienne to start their own farms. During that section of my life, I would say the number one most negative comment that kept repeating, and it might have been the same lady, was saying something to the effect of, you only want Jake and Bree off of Morrow Hill because they're stealing all of your content. You only want Jake fired because he's stealing all of your content. You only don't want Jake around because he's funnier than you. And pause, pause, pause. Everyone time out. First of all, Lester never stops. My mind never stops thinking and my mouth never shuts up. I will never run out of content. I can go outside and tell you a story about this piece of grass that is growing up through the concrete, and I can make it an entertaining and fun story. So doing that's dumb. I'm sorry, I'm not calling you dumb, but if you think that I want Jake and Brienne to start their own farms because they're stealing all of my content, that's foolish. How many of y'all remember the video that I made where there was a mushroom? This is maybe 2 years ago. There was a mushroom on the ground and there was a whole stack of hay behind it. And I had to move all of that hay. And so the entire video was me trying to move hay and trying to avoid running over the mushroom. It was one of the biggest videos of that month because people were so intrigued. Is he going to be able to move all of those rolls of hay and not crush that mushroom? Because, guys, I'm having to move that tractor in all kinds of different ways. And I had that camera set up and we kept watching that mushroom. Lady or gentleman, I don't know who's saying that. But if you think that I'm afraid of Jake and Brienne stealing all of the good content, that's dumb. That's dumb. I can make a. That's just dumb. I'm blessed that I'm a storyteller. I got that from my dad. I got storytelling from my dad, and I believe that people like to hear good stories. And so I have a storytelling mentality, and I can tell a story. And so it doesn't matter if I have a pig Trudy or a Ringo, or like I said, a mushroom or a blade of grass. I'll make a story out of it, and I'll have some drama, and I will add some high anxiety moments, and I will have fun. So that was the first dumbest argument that so many of y'all were going back and forth about, is that Lester only wants Jake and Brienne to have their own farms so they'll stop stealing my content. No, I've actually encouraged, listen to me. How many of y'all noticed that Jake has been on a really weird pattern with his videos lately? He'll make 3 or 4 videos, then he'll stop for 2 weeks. Then he'll come back and make 2 or 3 or 4 videos, then he'll stop for a week. Then he'll come back and make 2 or 3 videos. Guys, I am the one who says, Jacob, what are you doing? Jacob, make a video. Jacob, get out of that funk. Get over here. Let's make a video together. I says, Jake, people are depending on you. People go to your page to find your content. People go to your page so that you can give them that escape. I said, you have a lot bigger mission than sitting over there feeling sorry for yourself because of this or because of that. I says, get off your ass, get over there and make a video. Ask Jake if that's not true. I encourage and I push Jake. I suggest ideas. I give him video ideas. And so the last thing that I would ever want is Jake and Brian to start their own farms so they can have their own content and leave me and my content alone. So that's foolish. Um, and so we'll move on from there. What I said was, and I thought I explained this really well, that Jake at the age of 28 and Brienne at the age of 26, I believe, they're not going to be 28 and 26 forever. Time flies, my friends. They're going to eventually be 38 and 36, and then 48 and 46. And what that means is the older that you get and the longer that you do something, if you're not careful, you can lose your passion. And so what I said was this: while they're young, while they have a passion for video making, while they have the energy and the body, the strength of mind and body, which you don't always have, trust me, get out there and create your future now. Jake has a child, Brienne has children, and listen, those children are not going to inherit I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. I want them to start their own farms, not just for them, but for their children, for their families. Um, I didn't mean this in a mean way, but my dad will sit on that land until he dies. And I says, go talk to Pawpaw. Go ahead and start today. Start now. Start building your farms. And in saying so, that was only trying to encourage them to take that step, to take that next step into true adulthood. And it was nothing about me having to keep my content for myself. I said, Jake, I said, once you get your pasture fenced off, knowing that Jake is not really set up, Jake is not really, does not really have a passion for pigs. He doesn't really have a passion for goats. If you've noticed, and if you really do know Jake, you know that he has a true passion for bovine, for cows. And so I says, Jake, I know how much you love Moo. Now, listen, Moo has been a part of my life for 5 or more years. So Moo has been a part of my life for that long. Yet, I know that even though I love Moo, Jake needs Moo. And so I says, I'll send Moo over to be a part of your protection. Uncle Moo can go be a part of your herd. I says, then you'll already have your 2 females in Annabelle and Miley. And then I said, I will give you a bull. I'll give you Santoro. Now that right there was a selfish move. That was Lester being selfish. Why do you think that me giving Jake Santoro is being selfish? Here's why. Because I don't want the vet to come cut off his man parts. I don't. I do not want to have Santoro's man parts taken away. I want to see Santoro grow up with the same strength, the same energy, the same passion, the same desires, the same fight that his dad had. I was blessed to watch Tex grow up and turn into the bull that he is today. And I'm going to tell you something, friends. For everyone who's saying, castrate them, cut off them nuts. When you castrate an animal, when you fix, even if you fix, one of your females, their life does change. The hormonal changes in them changes the animal. It changes the personality. And so I get it. It's the responsible thing to do if, in fact, you're unable to care for, or if you don't have a need for the young. But I want to see Santoro grow up. And so my options were either A, have Santoro castrated, B, send Santoro off to some other ranch, trade Santoro for some other heifers that could come, because Santoro cannot breed in with our cows. And so That was a way that was a selfish Lester move so I could keep Santoro close by. He's not mine. He'll be Jake's bull. I can watch him grow up. I can see what beauty he becomes, what a monster he's going to be, and how much he resembles and follows in Daddy's footstep. I offered to help Jake with this fencing so that we don't have the Billy Tex battles that we dealt with for so long. We don't want to see bulls fighting and getting hurt. Anyway, I don't even really know where I'm going anymore. But the last thing I will say is for all the folks who were criticizing Jake, saying that he's not ready for his own farm. And all I can say about that is that a lot of times people don't grow up until they're forced to. I'll say that again, and I don't mean this towards Jake. This is meant as an overall life lesson. Many times, a child cannot take that step into adulthood until they're forced to. It's like Michelle said in her letter about her mom passing, that her mom with her situation forced her to grow up fast. And so don't get me wrong, Lester had to mature a lot after Hurricane Harvey. The Lester before Hurricane Harvey and the Lester after Hurricane Harvey are two different Lesters. You probably would not like me. You probably would not even recognize the Lester that was before Hurricane Harvey. But Hurricane Harvey, by taking away everything and making you start over, literally start over from the ground up, made me mature a lot. And at the age of, well, in my 40s, I had to mature, and I'm only 40. I have to mature because I have, and so I don't want Jake and Brienne. I'm not saying they're immature, but having your own farm, having your own barn, having to take your finances and budget, having to take your finances and decide on what's a necessity, what's a need, what's a want, taking your animals and having to plan their morning meals, their afternoon meals, their wintertime hay, their green hay if they need it, their water, how clean it stays. Guys, all of those things are the same things that every man who runs a farm or every woman has to do. And so, just as you have been my biggest critic, and many of you have been the ones to help shape and make I'm a Survivor as beautiful as it is, as clean, as safe, as healthy as it is, you too will be the driving force behind Jacob in helping him create. I may teach him how to do it, but that's where he has to take that next step into becoming a man and actually doing it. And so all I can think of, it was a win, win, win on every part, a win on all parts. And so for having so many folks argue and fight it over in the comments was really beyond me. A lot of folks were screaming that Jake is not mature enough. Guys, Jake is plenty mature enough. Jake just has to have the desire. I'll say one last thing, and then I promise I'll move on. If you think that Jake's not mature enough, it's because just like you, when you go work for the man, you pretty much do just enough to get by. Sorry, but it's true. Most people who go to work for somebody else, they do just enough to get by. And so, fine, I may freak out because I'm kind of a perfectionist, whereas Jake and Ben, LE, my own son, they do just enough to squeak by. Just enough to squeak by. And so, if that's what you mean by the immaturity, well, guess what? That's because they work for the man. In this case, the man is Lester. But once they have their own farms, guess who the man becomes? You. You're going to become the man. And so, just like you are the man now to me, and I work for you, Jake and Brienne and LE and Sister Kim and Pawpaw and anyone who uses social media as their sole source of income or their main source of income has to learn real fast that if I'm not cleaning my water and everyone's seeing my water green and slimy, they're going to get on my ass and they're going to start. Why would they watch my videos if they're disgusted by the water I make my animals drink? Why would they watch my videos if my animals are always sick from parasites because I don't keep my water clean or whatnot? So, yeah, that I do believe that all of the kids around Morrow Hill, including my own sons, have a lot of growing up to do. And sometimes people don't take that step. They don't grow up until they're forced to. Wow, I can ramble. Wow, I can ramble. And look how long. Look at that. It's over an hour of rambling. And it's not even lunch with Longhorn Lester. I'll read a couple more comments and I really do got to go. The reason people, so this is from Tanya, the reason people aren't accepting of a supportive family is because it's old fashioned. People just aren't the same anymore. Examples, family always had your back. Oh, examples, family always had your back. Families had Sunday dinners and spent holidays together. Sometimes it's easier to find an excuse than to put forth the effort to support slash spend time with family and friends. Okay, so I do think that there's a lot of values have changed a lot in our society. And I know that a lot of people have distance now that they have to overcome. Okay, guys, Moo is only going to be in the pasture beside I'm a Survivor. He's not going anywhere, only a different pasture. And so that is true. Let's just pretend that this letter, let's just pretend that this is Lester's pasture. And this right here is the fence. Jake is going to come over here and build a fence. So this is my dad's land. This over here is Lester's. This is my dad's land. Jake is going to put a dividing fence down my dad's land, and Jake is going to have this pasture right here. And so my dad will still run all of his cows over here. Jake will run his cows over here, and Lester will still run his cows over here. So all we're doing is making a new fence, and Moo will leave from here and go right here, where he'll have a barn, he'll have a pond, and a lot of grass. How about that illustration? Was that awesome? Okay, really, I really do have to go. Facebook likes us to keep the lives under an hour. And if I get on here rambling over an hour, you know what they're going to think? Uh-oh, he's just trying to make more money. He's just trying to make more money off of Facebook ads. He's trying to make more money. And what they do is they'll stop recommending pages because they think that we're on a money grab. A money grab is a good way to put it, a money grab. So an hour is usually the max that they want your lives. They like them to be between 10 minutes to an hour, and different people have different amounts of time they can spend. But we're already at over an hour, and I do not want them to think I'm on a money grab. Hold on, whoa, long one. Okay. How in the world do you say this name? Jonasis Mara. Lester, I love what you're doing and what you're going to do. It'll be the best of both worlds. You are the farmer, and it's your call. Cut bulls are kept to fatten up for the meat you all eat. Cut bulls fatten quicker than intact bulls. Just look at Moo, how big he is. Moo will always be part of the shit show. And so thank you very much. I will honestly, that right there has to be the one that explains it all. People cut their bulls. They will cut a bull so they can't continue to produce. All right. And they oftentimes will do that for the fattening up. But Moo will always be a part of our shit show. All right, here we go. Christina Evans says, Lester! All of them exclamation points. They show more ads when you go over an hour than Okay, hold on. Lester, they show more ads when you go over an hour. I've already seen three. Uh, um, I don't know what to say. I'm not trying to just keep going. I just keep seeing things that make me want to talk. Um, oh boy, Peachy Life, you're hyper vigilant about your things. Jake and Bree being creators will be fine. Jeez, how many times y'all need to hear shut it? My 3 year old daughter told her brother, 20, you're not the parent to me. I think that the hyper vigilant is not so much me she's talking about as it is you guys. I don't know. I don't really know. But Jake and Brienne are always welcome to come to I'm a Survivor if they need content. Forever. They're always welcome to come let Cornholio chase them around. They're always welcome to come, whatever. Whatever they do, they can always do that. But ultimately, Peachy Life has to know that Lester and Jamie are getting into the phase where we're going to start slowly downsizing. And so they need to have their own farms with their own content. And hey, Bree has children. I'll tell you right now, the best content there is children. Bree has children, and I think that Carter has more fans than any of Brienne's goats. More people would love to see Carter on a video than give a darn about Pickles or Elfie. Y'all know it's true. Y'all know that's true. I don't think that she meant that for me. I don't think that she says that I'm the one being hype or whatever. Uh, Carter is great, and yes, she is. Okay. They're always welcome to come see Annie spit on Ernie because Indy played with him. That's true. Crystal, nobody. Crystal, hi. Um, Crystal has been instrumental in helping me understand a whole lot of the going ons around Longhorn Lesters. And I appreciate Crystal for taking time to email me and explaining things the way she sees it. So, okay, my friends, I really will go with that. I love you all. I got to get off this thing. I do have more chores to do. Thank you guys. And I will see you all tomorrow on Lunch with Longhorn Lester at noon. I'll try to have something else to talk about besides rant. I will not rant. I promise. All right. Much love.